my music to change the world.
Not everyone likes what you're saying.
Hey guys, Society Reviews here in my review of the film Bob Marley, One Love. Bob Marley is an icon for stoners and Jamaicans everywhere, but the latest Bob Marley film might be different from what you expect, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Music biopics have been a big selling point for Hollywood over the last several years, and now it's time for Bob Marley to get his turn in the limelight. The catch is, however, your enjoyment of the film is going to depend on how big of a Bob Marley fan you are going into the movie. There are pros and cons to having people close to the artist, such as close family members, be in charge of the creative direction of a movie. On one hand, you would like to have the most accurate portrayal of the character as possible, a perspective that can only be held from people who knew the person, such as a close family member. On the flip side, the negative is that family members tend to be more lenient towards omitting more problematic elements of the story, and audience could be left with a film that's only half as interesting as it could be. One Love is set in 1976 at the height of the Jamaican political unrest that affects everyone's life on the island. Marley announces that he's going to be performing a concert that will going to promote peace within the region. However, his call for peace is viewed as an act of rebellion, and as a result, Marley, his wife, and several of his band members are shot by assailants. While the victims survive the attack, Marley is distraught at the idea that his own countrymen will try to kill him and his wife. So as a result, he takes his wife and children to the United States of America, where him and the rest of the band members venture on a European tour in London. It is during this tour that Marley and his group finds worldwide fame, becoming a cult of personality in a time of massive unrest. However, it takes little time for Marley to receive such a positive reaction from the European crowd that fame gets to his head. He begins to question why he got into the music industry in the first place. Bob Marley's One Love is an imperfect film that has a share of successes along with a share of flaws. Kingsland Ben Ayer plays the role of Marley in the film and does a great job of bringing the character to life. However, some audience members may have difficulty understanding his strong Jamaican accent. A common complaint will be the character can be hard to understand at times, bringing forth the question whether some parts of the movie should have had subtitles. Lashana Lynch is in the film playing Bob Marley's White Rita, and what is a change of pace from what we normally see of her. Lynch is usually cast in more masculine roles as a feminine actress, so seeing her in a role that requires a motherly sense of femininity can be a bit jarring at times. One of the biggest sticking points of the movie is that it is not a full-fledged rise and fall story of Bob Marley. The central plot takes place at a very specific point in time in Bob's life, giving very abridged versions of other important details of his life. Audiences who are going into this movie looking to learn more about Bob are going to find themselves missing a lot of key elements that the film does not explore. Marley's faith is a topic that the movie brushes up on very briefly. As a man who was born Roman Catholic, then entangled himself into the Jamaican-based cult called Rastafarianism, and helped popularize that cult to worldwide prominence before reverting back to the Ethiopian Orthodox Church right before his death. Because the filmmakers didn't want to offend some of Marley's hardcore fan base, who to this day remain Rastafarian, means that the film tiptoes along with a lot of important issues that are very critical to address for the story. The film has an upbeat vibe going forward and does a very good job of blending in the drama with the music of Marley into a most satisfying conclusion. When it comes to One Love, the film is going to bring forth different emotions from different people. At the end of the day, your enjoyment of the movie is going to be dependent on what you were expecting to get out of it. Some audience members will find this to be a very satisfying biopic, while others feel like the film fell short of their expectations. No matter how you feel about the finished product, One Love is a film worthy of checking out and letting your interpretation drive your opinions of the film. I give this movie a 2.5 out of 5.
Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing gonna be alright.